Hey, what's happening to you guys? Pyros here and welcome back to another video. Today I kind of want to do a small discussion, just highlighting something that I've noticed, and I feel like we've all have noticed about this, but because we are so accustomed to this style of video games, especially when it comes to animated video games, we have kind of just neglected it, and I feel like that's gonna be a detrimental aspect for the evolution of anime games. That what is it that I'm talking about? So as you guys may have seen, there's a new One Punch Man game coming out called One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. We saw screenshots, we saw trailers, it looked pretty interesting. That's the word I would use, interesting. Then we saw gameplay, and you cannot tell me otherwise. This game looks like any other generic anime game that we have been getting for the past few years, and I promise you, if you take the One Punch Man skin away from this game and you replace it with any other freaking anime series that's currently popular, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And like, just go back and look at all the other anime games that we've gotten in the past, from One Piece Born in Blood, Black Clover's Quartered Knights, My Hero's Once Justice, and Seven Deadly Sins, that video game, I don't know, Britannia or something like that, Jump Force, and freaking Shinobi Strikers. They all have the same team behind it. Like, they all just look generic. They have the same generic fighting style, which is, I don't know how to perfectly describe it to you. I feel like you have to play anime games to understand what it is that I'm talking about. It's like, it's the same developers that sometimes makes these games, and we know it's not, but it has the same vibe to it. And just a funny note as well, One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, is made by the same people who made One Piece Born in Blood, and we all know how One Piece Born in Blood turned out. There's a small niche of people who actually enjoyed One Piece Born in Blood, but ultimately that game was not properly designed. Now, I actually seen videos of people kind of trying to figure out, will Saitama be broken in One Punch Born in Blood? I mean, it's in the trailer. He was being attacked by Sonic and other characters, and he didn't flinch. He is designed to be broken. This game will not be competitive. They answered the question for you in the trailer, and people still ask the question. It's like, come on. But that's not the point I want to get into this video. My point is that, why hasn't anime games evolved? That's the biggest question I've always wondered. All these anime games, with the exception of certain anime games that have kind of transcended the realms of mediocrity, like, okay, I'm gonna say Storm for the most part, and yeah, Storm. I don't know. It feels like every time I want to pick out a particular anime, there hasn't been any. Oh yeah, sorry. Dragon Ball FighterZ is one of the exceptions of this rule. They have transcended what an anime game has been for the past few years, and just brought it up to such a high level of quality that it is still relevant to this very day. It made it to Evo. It really introduced people to both anime and fighting game. It was a huge success, and it just showed what happens when a good developer gets their hand on an anime IP. But for the most part, all these other anime games that we've been getting have been medium to low budget games that look like they should be releasing for the PS3 and sometimes even the PS2, and I'm not even joking, and you know this, you know I'm not joking. So it begs the question, what is the actual issue? Is it the community's fault for tolerating bullshit consistently over the past few years, letting their nostalgia blind them into making poor purchasing decisions, knowing damn well that they'll buy into something that's really going to be detrimental to the overall spectrum of, the anime games, society, whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people were defending Shinobi Strikers and Jump Force. I know, listen, in every fucking game, there's always those fucking niches that do enjoy certain games. I can be a testament to this. Believe this or not, if you don't want to believe it, that's fine. But before I was even aware that Sonic 06 was a bad game, I enjoyed it. I know. I know. Listen. I know. But I actually enjoyed the game. I don't know why. See, that's the thing. It was because I was such a huge fan of Sonic that I was able to tolerate the bullshit. And it wasn't until I kind of awoken, like I unlocked my Sharingan, I was able to see, bro, this game is fucking shit. Still kind of enjoyed it, but it was fucking shit. Like, I was able to acknowledge it after awakening my Sharingan. There's this period of despair that led to the awakening, but whatever. Now, a lot of people in the community, in the anime community, they're still blinded by nostalgia. They'll see a Naruto game being announced and they'll see the game, but they'll let their nostalgia blind them because they think that if you oppose the Naruto game that's been coming out, or if you say anything negative, you are pretty much a hater, which isn't true. You can be someone who can criticize and just point out the flaws of a game without actually being a fucking hater. This happened with Jump Force, this happened with Shinobi Strikers. People called out all the flaws that the game has, everybody wouldn't listen, the game came out, all these flaws came out to be true, and then they complain because they spent 60 years on a game that just ended up not being what they wanted it to be. How could it be the hype beast in the anime community? People who just make videos consistently hype up anything that comes out that is relevant to a very popular anime game, and they're too afraid to criticize something in fear of a backlash, in fear of a massive amount of dislike, unsubscription, whatever the case may be. You know this, come on, you know, we all know this. We have those hype beasts, which there's nothing wrong with being a hype beast, but there has to be a balance. If there's going to be hype beast, there needs to be critic knights. It's a term that I just made up, but it kind of goes alongside what I'm trying to say. Hype beasts hype things up, there's no stopping them, they're just rampage, they're just going around doing whatever they want to do, and critic knights come in to slay down this hype beast to keep things under control. We need to be critic knights, that's what I'm saying. Kind of control the balance a little bit. Or is it the studios that's going on that's making these games? Maybe the publishers just aren't giving them the budgeting that they need to actually make the games to the highest quality. Because there's another game that I've kind of seen during E3 called Tales of Arise. It looks like an anime game, but it looks really good quality anime game. Like the quality of it looks amazing. Like it's the next step. I think Tales of Arise is the next step of anime evolution. Some might say Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but I've seen the gameplay. It looks fancy, but it still looks kind of generic. I don't know. It's I don't know. We have to see more. It looks like it's gonna get boring really quickly for the most part, and obviously maybe it's because I don't want to go through the Dragon Ball story once again. Whatever. Or could it be just something that's culturally the way it is in Japan? Maybe people don't have time to make good quality anime game. I know in the Japanese industry, the work time is crazy. People actually fucking die making games or making whatever it is that they're making. So maybe low budget games is how they deal with the over working condition. If they don't have to focus too much on creating a really good game, they won't have to kill themselves. But that's the thing. We don't know why anime games haven't transcended the realms of fucking quality. Every other fucking genre that I can think of has at one point taken the steps to meet up with the next level of generation that we've seen in games. Football, fighting games, story-oriented games, RPG, everything. Except for anime games. Listen, go back to any anime game that we've gotten. They all look like they're supposed to be coming out in the PS3 era. It's not high quality stuff for the most part. With the exception of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Fighters, and even, yeah, I'm actually put the Storm series in this list as well, because Storm 1 was revolutionary. It pushed the boundaries of what we thought. See, we had a boundary for anime games, and the first Storm game just destroyed it. But I feel like we haven't gotten to that stage yet. Like, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm on the PS3 showed us the potential, And then Storm 2 was like a little regression, and I think they justified it because they had multiplayer for it. I don't know if it's true or not, but we all know this. It was a level of quality we haven't seen. But visually wise, gameplay wise, it pushed the boundaries. Like, it really brought anime to life, the Naruto anime. But for the most part, that quality hasn't been seen in a long ass time. And I'm talking about the gameplay just feeling wonky and just unfinished, facial expressions just bare minimum. Like, sometimes even the mouths wouldn't even move, and when they do move, it's like this. Like, literally one motion mouth movement. You know, just the overall quality production just isn't there. And for the most part, we are expected to pay 60 euros for these games. 60 euros for these games. I mean, come on, man. And One Punch Man doesn't seem to be improving anything at all. Like, I know One Punch Man isn't like a Naruto, a Dragon Ball, a One Piece, a Bleach type of, you know, popularity, but it's up there. People, One Punch Man even catered to the actual normal fans of everyday life, like people who just watch Breaking Bad, you know, Games of Thrones. It appealed to normies, is what I'm trying to say. It actually appealed to normies, which is impressive for an anime to do, but it's not getting the respect that it deserves. And then you have obviously, and then when it's funny is that any other anime that isn't on the spectrum of popularity, their games end up being just fucking like trash. Like, what was it again? This one kind of confused the hell out of me. JoJo Bizarre, one of the most over-talked, over-memed anime that I've ever seen in my life. Like, literally, you mention any small reference to a JoJo episode and you'll see memes just pouring in that comment section. I think they got a game. Exactly. Who even remembers the game? Hardcore, like, listen. In every game, I think, like I mentioned, in every game there is a fucking niche, and just because that niche likes the game doesn't mean the game is good quality. That's the thing I'm trying to point out. I feel like every time you try to critique a game and call it out for the flaws that it has, there will always be someone in the comment section going, but I liked it. I mean, I liked Sonic 06, but the game is fucking trash. It's universally bad. It's bad. It's bad. Like, it had a potential, but it's bad, unfortunately. That's that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how much this One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, is gonna go for. 60 euros, and if it's 60 euros, then it's a fucking no. If it's 50 euros, it's still a no. If it's 40, it's still a no. Like, it has to be. I'm gonna say 25. Yeah, 25. Maybe, okay, I could push 40 if it has a lot of content, but I doubt it's gonna have a lot of content. I think it's gonna have a generic story mode. It's gonna have 1 or 2, maybe 3 typical story, like battle modes, like maybe time attack, multiplayer, survival. I don't know, something in those general lines. And then, yep, that's it. That's it. I don't know. Anime games these days is just being more and more disappointing. And the one thing that really annoys me, I don't know why I'm about to say this, but it kind of does annoy me, even though it shouldn't, is that whenever we get an announcement for a very popular anime, like Naruto, Dragon Ball, Bleach. Well, no, if we get Bleach, that's an exception. We should probably get excited for that because we haven't had a Bleach game in a while, but, you know. Okay, let's try again. Naruto, Dragon Ball, One Piece, or My Hero Academia these days. We get way too excited and we get way too hyped up. Way too hyped up. And it's amazing because we've gotten mediocre to trash to mediocre, with the exceptions of a very few anime games being really good over the past few years. Like, at this point, shouldn't we be a little bit more, let me see more, let me not get too excited, You know what I mean? It's like, let's temper our expectation a little bit. This is anime games we're talking about here. This is not a AAA game. This is not like the developers of God of War saying, oh, we're about to make an anime game. Like, that's not what's happening here. Anyway, that's just my thoughts and opinion on it, and I think it's a little bit of a rant. I think it just happened because I rewatched the trailer, like I said, and it just made me realize we haven't progressed. Well, by me, I mean them. They haven't progressed. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing over there in Japan that they just don't want to do it, they don't feel the need to do it, or is it just that they know we Westerners and some Japanese people as well are too drugged out in nostalgia to see the lies that they're selling us. Who knows? But anyways, that's just my thoughts and opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Pyros, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.